Umar Johnson has redeemed himself. Special education is legal segregation. Umar Johnson has redeemed himself. Special education is legal segregation. Thank you for tuning in to Laurel with the Black Political Buzz Network. Dr. Umar Johnson, the special education, he's a black man, the Black American special education extraordinaire and very popular lecturer on the subject matter, has redeemed himself in my eyes. If you can recall, about a year ago, I recorded and uploaded a video about Dr. Umar Johnson's, being embroiled in a social media war or social media feud with a woman who was a stripper. She claimed she was a stripper. She claimed to be a fan or a supporter of Dr. Umar Johnson's platform. And Umar Johnson allegedly slept with this woman. He allegedly had sex with this woman. And she and he began to argue online. The woman, she posted a lot of his text messages to her online. He began to malign her. Umar Johnson began to malign this woman. Very negative, said some very negative, derogatory things about this woman in the media. And it muddied the waters, around Dr. Umar Johnson's platform, which is to help to properly. His platform is about properly educating black children in America, because the American public school system is, by and large, historically, racially biased in its education of black students in the United States of America. So Dr. Umar Johnson, who is a noted and accredited, he's noted and accredited and well educated. He didn't buy his degrees online. He did not purchase, contrary to rumors and lies about this man, he did not purchase his educational degrees online. He earned them. And he possesses 6 degrees, real degrees, not something he went online and purchased. The man is a noted special education psychologist, very well versed in his field. I even said the man was very well versed in his field on my first video about him. I was disappointed at how Dr. Umar Johnson allowed this woman who is a stripper, and I'm not bashing strippers. If you want to be a stripper and that's your thing, and you use stripping to support your family, hey, I wouldn't do it, but I'm not going to bash you for doing it. I wouldn't do it if I was 25. But if that's the way you support your family, I'm not going to bash you for that. However, this woman who is a stripper, she claimed to be a supporter of Dr. Umar Johnson. And basically, it could have been a setup. Because what I've noticed for the past, 50 years, 60 years, 70 years, 80 years, whenever a black man in America is doing anything to help uplift the black American community, that black man is usually set up some kind of way. He's set up with drugs. He's set up with prostitutes. He's set up with bribes, financial bribes. Anything to discredit the black man's, anything to discredit his image, anything to discredit his character and his image, so that no one will believe in his platform or what he's doing to help black people become uplifted and self-sufficient. So, Dr. Umar Johnson, what happened between him and that woman who's a prostitute? That could have been a setup. Someone may have paid her to get in his life, because that's been going on for about 80 years in the United States. Whenever a black man goes out there and tries to help the black community in a positive way, especially if it does not involve the entertainment industry. And I'm not against or bashing or slamming black entertainers. If you are a black entertainer, hey, more power to you. But not all significance from the black community, or not all gifts from the black community come in the form of music or sports. I repeat, not all gifts from the black community come in the form of music or sports. There are many intellectually gifted black people in our history who have tried to uplift the black community and make us become more self-sufficient. And Dr. Umar Johnson has been instrumental in being one of those public figures in doing so. Umar Johnson allowed himself to become distracted. This was a distraction from his mission. And see, that's what happens when you are trying to be significant in the black community, or to help the black community become uplifted and self-sufficient. The federal government or someone else who's a racist will send along a distraction. Usually, if you're a black man, it'll come in the form of a woman. It may be a black woman or a white woman or a Spanish woman. It doesn't matter. Or they'll send along some money as a bribe, catch you in a bribe, so you can go to federal prison. So my rebuke, because that's what I call it, my first video, in which I was speaking about Dr. Umar Johnson and that woman, that stripper woman, the one in which I wasn't wearing any makeup. And by the way, since we're talking about women, right? On this video, I'm talking about women, right? I'm not going to have on makeup on every video. And if you don't want to watch it, don't watch it. I've said that, and that's it. But anyway, on that first video, that was a rebuke to Umar Johnson. It was a rebuke, so to speak, and a reminder. Hey, Dr. Johnson, get back on focus. Get back on the mission. Get back in the race. Forget this drama, stupidity mess with this stripper woman. That's a distraction. Get back in the race. Get back on task. You're a teacher. You're a special education, specialist. Get back on task. Get back in the mission. People still need you. He was trying to raise $2 million to purchase, a defunct military academy in the state of Virginia to open a school, a private school for minority students. And don't say that's racism. Other races do it. Other ethnicities do it. Other nationalities do it all the time. They don't use race as a means of keeping out black children. They use what Dr. Umar Johnson says they use, which is special education. He said that after the Civil Rights Act was signed into law by Congress and Dr. Lyndon and President Lyndon Johnson, after President Lyndon Johnson and Congress passed, and enacted the Civil Rights Law in the 60s, and Brown versus Board of Education began to outlaw segregation. Many white people, many of them liberals. See, you all are around here running behind these liberals. A lot of white liberals are racist. Abortion is pushed by white liberals. Abortion of black babies is pushed by white liberals. Many white liberals are racist. Not all of them. I don't want to unfairly generalize white liberals, but many of them are racist. And many of their platforms are racist. But Dr. Umar Johnson said that the white liberals, after the Civil Rights Act was enacted, and after Brown versus Board of Education, outlawed segregation of public schools, that white liberals came up with this strategy or this tactic to divide, white students from black students via the means or via the use of special education. We can't keep them away from our white children because of their color of their skin anymore, because the government has outlawed that. but we can keep them out with our children via special education. Have them labeled as, ADHD, attention deficit disorder. Have them labeled as mentally retarded. Have them labeled as LD or learning disabled, learning challenged. Use these labels, put them on Ritalin, put all the black boys on Ritalin. Use these labels to segregate black students, especially poor black students, segregate these students from white children. I agree with Umar Johnson on that. So in my eyes, Dr. Umar Johnson, he has, now that he's gotten back, on focus, back on task, he has redeemed himself in my eyes. Dr. Umar Johnson has redeemed himself in my eyes, and I apologize. Dr. Umar Johnson, I apologize. I apologize if I offended you. But I'm glad that you are back on task to helping to educate black parents about the true purpose of special education, which is that it's a business. It's a multi-billion-dollar business, and it's keeping black children in bondage and keeping black children away from many opportunities that will help them to have an edge competitively and globally alongside white students and Asian students and wealthier students. So Dr. Umar Johnson, I support you. I support you in your efforts, and I'm happy to know that you had the guts to hang in there and not throw in the towel and run away and hide. That when you saw you were not getting the money you needed to do what you're doing to help black children and black parents, you went to Africa and got some help. Hey, that is awesome. You didn't just sit around and cry the blues. You didn't throw in the towel. You didn't give up your mission. You got back on task. You left that stripper alone, got back on task, and you went to Africa to get money to help the black children over here in America. And I love that. So I support you once again. And like I said, I apologize if I offended you, Dr. Umar Johnson. You are the man. And I'm asking you, begging you, and encouraging you, please. You do a lot of traveling up north. And I know I'm from New York. I now live in the South. Been in the South for a long time. I live in Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm begging you, come back to Charlotte. I know you were here about a year or two ago, but it was undercover. Nobody really knew you were here. The media did not expose your, they didn't announce that you were coming. The media did not announce. The media and the black leaders in Charlotte did not announce that you were coming to Charlotte. So it was sort of undercover. I missed it. Please come back to Charlotte. Come and visit the southern states. Come to Charlotte, North Carolina. Go to Atlanta, Georgia. Go to Mississippi. Go to Memphis, Tennessee. Go to Florida. Visit the southern states as well, like you're visiting the northern states. Because you are celebrated. I celebrate you, and I like what you're doing, and I say God bless you in what you're doing. Don't give up. Don't stop. Keep going. Dr. Umar Johnson has redeemed himself. Special education is legal segregation. Thank you for tuning in to Laura with the Black Political Buzz Network. Goodbye.